Hello and welcome to my World of Tanks replays. This is going to be part 1 of a series that I'm going to call The Road to the E100. And it's going to be a step-by-step preview of each tank that you will have to go through to get to the E100 with a garage review and 1 or 2 games played in it. So, we're going to start out with the very basic one, and I'm just going to run this tank through once. If I do a review line like this on some of the other ones, since this is the tier 1 tank, I obviously won't need to redo it because there is no other tier 1 tank. This is the only one. So we're in the garage right now with the Lowell tractor, as you can see. It's a pretty rinky-dink machine. It was never intended for actual combat. In fact, most of them were not even made out of metal. They were made out of cardboard, or some of them plywood. The guns were usually rubber. It was built to train the German army on how to use tanks. The Versailles Treaty at the end of World War I banned tanks from the German army. The Wehrmacht was only allowed to have 100,000 men, no airplanes, no tanks. And so in order to be able to practice maneuvers and such in tanks that they couldn't have, they used farm tractors with cardboard or wood cutouts to simulate tanks. And so that's what this is, basically. This is a cardboard tank that they decided for the game purpose to actually give metal plates to. It's kind of slow. It's not the fastest. Well, let's go ahead and start from the top here. It's got 130 hit points. That's fairly average for a tier 1 tank. It's tier 1. It's not supposed to have a huge amount. You probably won't be spending more than a couple of days at this tier, if that, if you're just starting out. I've actually kept this tank all the way through the entire time I've been playing for almost 3 years now, but that's just because I think it's a lot of fun to drive. It's got a weight and load limit of 8.34. The load limit is 9.5 tons. So with what I have it rigged out with here, it's got a little bit of space left, but not much. It's only got 100 horsepower, which is why it's a little bit slow. Some of the other tier 1s do go quite a bit faster than it. It's got a top speed of 36, but if you're going up a hill or if you're in marshy terrain, it will never reach that. It's got a 40 degree per second traverse, which isn't bad. In fact, it's pretty good, really. It turns quite well, sometimes too well. The armor, if you want to call it that, is 14 millimeters at the front, 12 on the sides, and 12 at the rear. If you get shot at, you're getting penned by pretty much anything out there. Some of the autocannons at tier 1 might bounce if you're angled, but don't count on your armor to save you. Turret armor, same thing. It's actually a little bit thicker, 1 whole millimeter at the sides and the rear. The front's still 14. I run the stock gun on this, actually, because it's a pretty decent gun. It gets 27 to 45 shell damage, averages about 30. The penetration is the reason I run it. It gets 30 to 50 standard shell penetration. Of course, that goes up if you've got a PCR. That's not a lot of penetration, but it will get through most tier 2s, which that's as high as you'll see in this, is tier 2. The APCR, if you look down here, actually has 56 to 93 penetration, which is plenty adequate to get through the front of a T-18. If you have the autocannon on it, if we go to the research tree real quick, we can see what the autocannon looks like. It's this 2 centimeter one. It's only got 23 penetration and only does 11 damage. So being able to get 36 damage with 40 penetration, yeah, the autocannon gets to shoot faster. It's basically a light machine gun. The actual cannon here does more damage with each shot, and it's got a respectable rate of fire, 26.9 rounds per minute. You know, you're going to get a round off every 2 seconds, and that's even without good crew skills. I keep this tank for 2 reasons. One, it's fun to go down into lower tiers sometimes when you're sick of tier 7, 8, 9, 10 morons and be able to just have a couple of fun games. And number 2, it has won me quite a bit of gold in tier 1 tournaments. It's a very good tank for tier 1 tournaments, and the reason for that is the next thing. Well, it's got a 39 traverse speed, but the thing I was talking about is the view range. With binocular telescopes on this thing, if it's sitting in a bush, it can see 408 meters. Now, at 408 meters, you're talking tier 8 view range here. It's still got a crappy signal range, only 288, but what are you going to do? It's tier 1. It's not going to have a great radio. The reason I drive it is because it's got one of the best view ranges of anybody at tier 1, and if you can see them, you can shoot them. If they can't see you, you can shoot them, and they will die and you will not. So that's why I keep it. Now, as for crew skills, I've gone with Brothers in Arms on all of my guys. That gives me just a little bit more view range, a little bit more speed on the gun reload, a little bit more speed driving. Brothers in Arms just helps out with all of that. I'm currently working on recon on my commander. That just lets him see a bit farther. When that's done, I'm going to be starting him on the radio operator skill for seeing farther as well. The other 2 have camouflage. That's because I use this as a scout tank, and with their current layout with 50% camouflage, I can sit in the open and you can't see me at about 200 meters. Anything over that, you're not going to see me at all. If I'm in a bush, you're not going to see me fairly close. For equipment, I've got binocular telescopes and a camo net. You got to wait about 3 minutes for those to kick in. Once they do, you'll be invisible and you'll be able to see a long way. I also put vents on. Now vents, if you're not planning on keeping this tank, don't put vents on, because it costs gold to demount it, and they're about let's see here, I don't remember how much they cost. They're about 50,000 credits or something like that, which is, for a tier 1 tank, a lot, but like I said, I use it a lot, so that's why I put it on there. I wouldn't recommend it if you're not going to actually keep the tank. I also, if you notice, have camouflage paint on mine. That just gives it an extra 5% camo bonus. So anything helps when you're using it as a dedicated scout. As for the ammo, I do carry APCR. I carry about 30 of them. That's mostly because of tournaments, but also because I tend to have long streaks where I get in tier 2 battles, and there are some tier 2 tanks that you have to have APCR for. I keep 5 HE rounds in case of artillery, or in case I have to go back and reset a cap. Shoot somebody in the tracks with an HE round and you will reset their cap. So this is in this first battle in my lull tractor that I'll show you. This is going to show you some of the strengths of the tank. This is on Abbey, not Abbey, Province, which is a good tier 1 map. I like it a lot. You'll notice that I'm shooting at things about 100 meters away and I'm sitting right in the open. But with my camo skills and my camo net, nobody's able to see me apparently, because I'm just shooting away and shooting away and shooting away. You can tell the gun isn't particularly accurate at long range like this, but it does get the job done. We're pretty much tearing the enemy team apart here. It really doesn't take us that long. We've already done 300 damage at about 30 to 40 per shot. And that's our second kill. And we look up and oh, there's another tank to shoot at. Little MS1 there. We're going to go ahead and start shooting at him. And that's 3 kills. So let's go ahead and shoot at the low tractor. And we got him, but we didn't kill him. Shooting at another low tractor. Got him, didn't kill him. And I look up and all of a sudden we're up 10 to 2. And that didn't take long at all. But now nothing's spotted. So where are they? I'm going to get a little bit closer here. Go ahead and wait for my binoculars and my camo to pop back up. And nothing's spotted, so I'm going to start shooting at some of the bushes. That guy just got spotted again. We took him for most of that damage, but I don't think we're going to get him. Nope, somebody else got him. So we're just taking some perspective shots at places that people tend to like to hide. When you've played this many games on this map, you know where some of the hiding spots are. Just because you can't see somebody doesn't mean you can't shoot them. So people like to hide in this bush, so let's put a couple rounds in there. Didn't flush anything out. I don't know what that's some kind of glitch with the replay system. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, there's somebody. We're going to go ahead and shoot at him, and we miss. And he stops just as I pull the trigger. I think he's tracked. And we shoot, and we got him. So yay us. There's still 3. We've got 3 kills. If we get all 3 of them, then that will be a Top Gun, which would be nice. Oh, see, remember I said somebody was hiding in that bush probably? Oh, and we miss. And that's a hit. And that's a hit. You can tell it's a hit because you didn't see an explosion. And somebody else got him. So no Top Gun for us today. There's still 1 left. Can we get him? No, he's behind the building. Will he move? Probably not. I think he might have been AFK. So that was the first game in the low tractor for that night. So this is the second game I played for this in my little tractor, and it's going to highlight some of the limitations of the machine. Let's put it that way. First off, the last map was a nice open field. I could go sit in one spot and see everything that came my way and kill it. This map is a city. There's no bushes to hide behind. The other thing is, the last game we played, it was an all tier 1 game. Everything there was something I could definitely easily pen. This is a tier 2 game. There's a lot of stuff out here that can kill me very quickly. There's a lot of stuff that I might have trouble pinning. I'm trying to get this MS1 to come where I can shoot him. If this were a higher tier game, that guy would be poking out through that hole in the wall there, but he's just hiding underneath it and I just can't quite get him. So I'm getting bored sitting here. I'm going to go find some place where I can shoot at stuff. That MS1's not going to come out. He might get killed, but he's not going to come out. So I don't really like these sniper spots, but in this position where I'm in a bottom tier tank and there's a lot of guys that are much bigger than me that can kill me fairly easily, I'm going to go ahead and take a spot at this window, see what I can find. First thing I find is a T-18. He's got a side to us. Now remember what I was telling you about the guns. An autocannon would be having trouble even penning the side of a T-18. But I'm having no problem at all. I'm not even using APCR, I'm just using the standard ammo. And the problem I'm having is finding stuff that I can actually shoot at, because being a city, there's a lot of obstructed fields of fire. We're going to give it a shot, and I get him in the tracks. And where's something to shoot at? Where's something to shoot at? I want to kill something. All these guys are hiding behind the buildings. It's a very good place to hide, but it doesn't let me shoot at you. And I missed the Panzer II-D. Oh, there's something I can shoot at. A Cruiser 3. Cruiser 3s are nasty tanks. If we can take him out, it would be helpful. But for some reason, my gun just doesn't want to go straight. There we go. And he pulls out, and I kill him. He should have just stayed under cover. I wouldn't have been able to get him nearly as easily. Oh, hey, there's that Panzer II-D again. He just keeps running back and forth across the back of the aisle there. Maybe I can get him if he drives past this window again. And my shot goes into the ground. Oh, that's a hit. And a miss. I keep looking for that T-18. I can't find him, though. Don't know where exactly he is. I can see him on the mini-map, but I can't see where exactly he is. But he's hitting me, so he can see me. There he is. Alright, and we shoot, and it doesn't go through, so I'm switching to APCR, because the T-18's got really thick armor, but that APCR goes right through it, and that's 2 kills. And I think that was that Panzer II-D just buying it. Uh-oh. I'm looking at the map, and I'm looking at the team score, and I see that there's a lot of tanks that I don't know where they are, but there's someone in our... Uh-oh. And that is just how fast you can die when you run into a tier 2 tank point blank range with nothing to hide behind. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you stay tuned for the others in this series. I'll try to get them out as fast as I can. Of course, I gotta get decent games to be able to do so. Be sure to check out my other videos in this channel, and if you like it, you can subscribe. Please press the like button, and leave any comments or suggestions in the box. Thanks.